Hi, it's Mr. Schneider again. Today we're going to talk about rising campaign costs, how much it costs to run for president. All right. Candidates they have to do a lot of fundraising. I'm sorry, we're talking about any political office. Candidates have to do a lot of fundraising, raise a lot of money to run for any office. It's super expensive. Think about if you're running for president. 2012, the candidates raised over $1 trillion. I'm sorry, $1 billion. Sorry about that. $1 billion. Still a lot of money. You have to pay for ads, you have to pay for staff, you have to pay for all sorts of stuff. So it costs a lot of money, so they have to raise that money.
That money has to be raised one way or another by the politicians themselves, which they have complained about for years, and say that it can be the worst part of their job.
You know, I hated raising money. Hated it. It's painful. Frankly, to continually ask people for money. If Donna and I could tell you how many hours we spend with our good colleagues on our side of the issues talking about raising money, it would be an embarrassment. Because it is an embarrassment.
Well, an embarrassment. That is a strong statement, although he may be overestimating Congress's capacity for embarrassment, because bear in mind, we are talking about a place where these moments happened.
Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam. I do not like green eggs and ham.
2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar. All for the Gators. Stand up and holler. Go Gators.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.
Don't know much about chemistry. Don't know much toxicology. Don't know what's ammonium nitrate, except it's easy to detonate. But I do know that IST was used to increase our security. What a much safer world this could be. Don't know much about Casper.
Oh my God! What is most shocking about that last clip is that he read the room and decided, you know what? I think they want to hear another verse. I think I'm going to do another verse here. I'm reading this room and I'm doing it. But the sheer amount of time politicians spend fundraising is not just embarrassing, it's horrifying. Some say that members can spend anywhere from 25 to 50% of their time on it. But former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle once guessed that in the 2 years before an election, senators can spend 2/3 of their time raising money. And if 2/3 of the work you do is strictly about the money, you're not a legislator, you're Robert De Niro at that point. So tonight.
All right. So, so up to 2/3 of their time raising money. Oh, sorry about that. And you saw from a couple of those clips, what's that money going towards? Wow. All right. So next, it really limits opportunities to run for public office due to lack of funds. If you don't have a lot of money or people are not donating to your campaign, you can't run for office because it's expensive to send out mailings or buy commercials. So let's take a look at some people talking about running for office and the expenses they've incurred.
At his Virginia farmhouse, first-time candidate John Douglas is dialing for dollars.
So I know you kicked in another $250 at the end of the year.
Democrats recruited Douglas in hopes of defeating Republican Congressman Frank Wolf, who's been in the House for nearly 32 years.
I spoke to you back in July.
The retired general knows it's an uphill battle.
It is a real challenge to be a challenger. I mean, it is not a trivial thing to do.
The thing he needs most is money. So you spend how much of your time raising money?
About 75% of the time.
He's made 9,000 donor calls since May, bringing in roughly $500,000, and he hopes to raise about $1 million more. Much of that money will be spent on advertising. The rest will go to staff salaries, direct mail, gas, and other expenses.
How many miles do you think I've put on?
I don't know. Tell me.
50,000 miles in my car.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been crisscrossing this rural district, talking to voters at lunches, coffees, and churches. But there's no question, fundraising is king.
In the last election, the average winning House candidate spent about $1.4 million to get here, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. That's 70% more than a
issue is that
Farmhouse first-time candidate John Douglas is
Sorry. So it's expensive to run, and you need money. Let's see. All right. Wealthy individuals who run for office have an advantage over other candidates because they can donate money to their own campaigns. So here's an example of a wealthy individual who ran for office.
30 seconds of air, Mr. Burns.
Now remember to smile.
I am smiling.
You'll have to do better than that.
How's this?
There you go.
I'm going to be sore tomorrow.
Well, we've done all we can, Mr. Burns. The rest is up to you.
Oh, don't worry. By the time this paid political announcement is done, every Johnny Lunch pail in this whole stupid state will be eating out of my hand. Oh, hello, friends. I'm Montgomery Burns, your next governor, and I'm here to talk to you about my little friend here, Blinky. Many of you consider him to be a hideous genetic mutation. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. But don't take my word for it. Let's ask an actor portraying Charles Darwin what he thinks.
Hello, Mr. Burns.
Oh, hello, Charles. Be a good fellow and tell our viewers about your theory of natural selection.
Glad to, Mr. Burns. You see, every so often Mother Nature changes her animals, giving them bigger teeth, sharper claws, longer legs, or, in this case, a third eye. And if these variations turn out to be an improvement, the new animals thrive and multiply and spread across the face of the earth.
So, you're saying this fish might have an advantage over other fish. It may, in fact, be a kind of superfish.
I wouldn't mind having a third eye, would you?
No. You see, friends, if our anti-nuclear naysayers and choose-upsiders were to come upon an elephant frolicking in the waters next to our nuclear power plant, they'd probably blame his ridiculous nose on the nuclear boogeyman. The truth is, this fish is a miracle of nature, with a taste that can't be beat. So, to summarize, say what you want about me. I can take the slings and arrows, but stop slandering poor, defenseless Blinky. Good night, and God bless.
Only a moron would cast his vote for Muddy Burns. Wow, superfish!
I wish the government would get off his back.
That Burns is just what this state needs. Young blood.
All right, and then what it does is it encourages the development of political action committees, PACs and super PACs, which help like-minded individuals bring their money together to give to campaigns. So let's watch a little bit about super PACs.
Action committees have been around since the 1940s. They're private organizations that raise money for candidates or issues. Everyone from soda companies to pot smokers can form a PAC. And until recently, there were strict limits on how much money individuals could give to them. That all changed in 2010 when 2 Supreme Court decisions set off a campaign cash-feeding frenzy. One said that laws barring corporations and unions from spending money for political purposes violated the First Amendment. The second one ruled that caps on how much an individual can give to an independent political organization were also unconstitutional. And thus, the Super PAC was born. Technically called Independent Expenditure Only Committees, Super PACs can raise as much money as humanly possible from corporations, unions, and deep-pocketed fat cats. There are absolutely, positively, zero limits on how much money they can raise or spend. And while super PACs are prohibited from coordinating with individual campaigns, they're often run by friends or associates of candidates. So why does anybody care about these groups? Because we are talking big, big bucks going into influencing our democratic process. As of March 2012, 364 super PACs had sucked in more than $130 million and spent more than $75 million supporting their candidate or trashing his opponents. Are super PACs destroying our democracy, or are they protected by the First Amendment? Let us know. Log on to takepart.com/Tuesday, comment right here on this video, subscribe to our channel, and maybe send us a tweet.
All right, so PACs can spend as much money as they want. Now, they're not supposed to work with candidates directly, but if your super PAC is called something like Trump for president, obviously that's who you're going to be supporting. And then finally, let's talk about special interest groups. These are when people come together of special interest, and they donate money to candidates who agree with their views. So while PACs are like mostly people that come together who support a candidate, special interest groups are people that support an issue together. So let's take a look at an issue that a special interest group might be working on.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, lady, but you can't park your bike on this here sidewalk.
But I'm working here. I'm a delivery bird, for pizza's sake.
Later that night, Pinky got together with all of her fellow delivery birds, and they formed a special interest group.
We've got to overturn this law that says delivery birds can't park their bikes on the sidewalk. Who's with me?
The SWDBU went on to urge legislators to change the law prohibiting the parking of bikes on sidewalks, but met fierce resistance from another special interest group, Concerned Citizens for Uncluttered Sidewalks. After hearing both sides, lawmakers added an exemption to the law that allowed delivery birds to park their bikes on the sidewalks temporarily while making their deliveries. Both groups called the decision a success. That's the role that special interests play in our democracy, giving voice to groups of like-minded individuals so that everyone's ideas are represented in our government.
All right, so just an example of those delivery birds their special interest group coming together and trying to get a law changed for their good. All right, so thanks. That's podcast 2.7, Campaign Finance. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.